Okay, so today I'm working on a dye bath. I have a number of people who want things dyed in indigo, which I did pick up for my class. And right now, what I have is a vat of hot water. It's about 120 degrees. It's hot to the touch, but it's not too hot that I can't stick my hand in it. And then I have the yarn in here, which I have pre-soaked in water so that it takes the dye easily. We're going to see how this goes. I'm going to set you down for just a minute. Bear with me while I do this. And we'll be back once I get the indigo into the dye pot. And yes, I am talking to you wearing a mask and also wearing gloves. So bear with me. Okay, so this is what the product looks like. I got it from Hill Creek Fiber Studio. And this is what the crystals look like. Now I'm using 4 ounces because I've got quite a bit of fabric or yarn to, pardon my misspeech, to dye. Now what we're going to do is stir it up very gently, but not getting water into the bath. And then we're going to dip our fiber and see what happens. You can see that it's formed a skin on the top. That's where the indigo is meeting the oxygen of the air, of the atmosphere. And below that, it's probably green. We're going to find out if this worked. If indigo, instant indigo, gets old, then you have to treat it just like regular indigo, which means I have to reduce it. I have to get lye, I have to get thiourea dioxide, and titrate it. So we're going to see how this goes. And here you can see where the fiber goes into the dye bath. It is green. And then as I pull them out, it should turn blue in front of us. See how that goes. Oh my. Boy, that really looks purple, doesn't it? Now we're going to do a special, I don't even know if this is going to turn out. We're going to try a special way of doing this by putting a stick across and dipping some in. Bear with me while I set this up. So what I've done is I put a galvanized pipe across the top of the bath. Now the bath is only at a certain height and I've draped the skeins over. I can only hope that I've got them equally done and let them sit in the liquid. Now when I pull them out, I may have to actually dip them again. Depends how much juice there's left in this vat. The wind is going, so we may end up having to wait till tomorrow to actually find out if this dyed. You can see it. Well, these guys here, you don't know if that's just on the surface or if it actually sunk in at all. So once I wash that, there might actually still be white. So we'll have to try this and see what happens. Okay, so you can see I have it dripping into a bucket right now. And then I'm going to drip it in here one more time because there's still juice left in this. This is giving it 3 dips. This is what a bath looks like from last year that is totally exhausted. It has plenty of indigo in it, but it's just not in a solution that the fiber can actually take in. It has to be reduced again. It has too much oxygen mixed in with the indigo. So you can obviously see how that one is still crusting. It's still good. and when I dip it again, I should be able to see green where it enters the, where it breaks the surface. But right now I'm gonna give it a few minutes and let it drip. Now, these are the ones that I've done the entire skein. They're gonna be a lot lighter once I've rinsed them. But right now, this is what they look like, dripping on the ground. Get this guy picked up. Okay, so what I have, this is wool. This is a 220 wool, and this one here is might be some more 220 wool. Somewhere in here there's sock yarn. This would be the sock yarn. You see it's got a tighter twist to it. And then I also threw in, this is indigo, this is linen right here. Right now it's kind of hard to tell. You have to look pretty close to see what the fibers are. Once I've rinsed it, I'll show you the rest of it. This is going in for dip number 3. This is hard to do with a camera. All right. So we're gonna let that sit a minute and let it soak. Lift it out, let it drain, and then these are all going in to be spun dry, or spun and then rinsed in the washing machine. We don't agitate, just soak, spin, soak with soap, spin, rinse, spin, like that. Okay, so this is what happens here. I'm gonna hopefully not drop this in the water, but this is like my 7th washing. I don't know if you can see the color of the liquid, but this particular batch of indigo dyed yarns, and I have some fabric in here too, has got a lot of excess indigo that is coming off. So I've already gone through probably close to 100 gallons of water in rinsing this batch, which means that there was an awful lot of stuff just sitting on the surface that didn't sink into the yarn itself. And I can't tell you why. I just know that I mean, they picked up a lot of color, but they're going to take at least 2 more washings before the before I can actually dry these and call them done. I mean, this is why your blue jeans, because blue jeans are dyed with indigo, synthetic indigo, but they're still dyed with indigo. This is why they bleed so much in the wash. Indigo is a surface dye. It doesn't sink in as much. This one here, this is the linen, I can tell from the feel. This is a sock yarn. So these are going to be really dark, but they're still losing lots of, and here's the one that I dyed that was half and half, that was half out of the water and half in. It'll, when it's wet here, it looks a lot darker than it really is. But once that's washed out, that's how that two-tone one is going to look. And then this is a piece of cloth I dyed. And the reason it's dark and also light is because it was used to strain probably half a dozen dye baths outside, and so it picked up a lot of dark matter, dark color, so it wasn't white to begin with. It had probably walnut and coffee and madder strained through it, and this is cotton. So it's going to be an interesting piece. I'm going to cut that up and probably make something out of it. It's a fair, probably 2 yards here. It's really thin though. It'll be a nice summer garment. So that's what we got. I'm going to actually cut this video so people can see it. Eventually, these things will be dried and make it skeined onto the board in the attic for sale. So that's what we got. Take care.